Look at that. Got like a natural racing stripe there. Sweet. Hey guys, I had a request from a couple people to do more snow videos, so that's what I'm gonna do. We actually just got some good snow last night, and I should have filmed this morning on my way to work because it was pretty interesting. But for those of you who are looking to purchase a Mustang and want to drive it all year round, so far with the snow, what I found to work the best driving the snow with snow tires. I would never drive this car without snow tires, and the ones I have, I can say, are pretty crappy. But what I like to do is turn off the traction control, but not only the traction control, but if you press and hold up on the traction control, then you'll notice it says advanced track off. So that turns off everything, and I've noticed that helps me the most, because if you just turn off traction control, then the stability control stays intact, or it stays on, and it kind of messes with you when you're trying to make a turn or accelerate. So I like to do that, and then sometimes I'll turn on the snow, click this, and turn on the snow mode. And with this enabled, it helps me kind of modulate the throttle. It makes sure that I don't go overboard. But sometimes I want to go overboard a little bit. In order to get going, sometimes you really have to give it some gas and get the tires peeling out, and it kicks the snow out from the inside the tread. So sometimes you need to give it some gas. But this morning, driving to work, I think I did a lot better than a lot of vehicles out there, considering I have a rear-wheel drive sports car with 460 horsepower. It did pretty good, but the streets were pretty messy. We got about 8 inches of snow last night, and a lot of the streets weren't cleared. And as you can see, the streets still aren't clear 100%. Sorry for the bad camera, but I'll try and give you a view from my position. So you can see I'm trying to give it as much gas as I can, but since I put the snow mode on, it turned the traction control back on. I don't know why I can't say traction control. Can't say it. Anyways, it's not horrible driving, but I've had better snow tires than the ones I have on the vehicle right now. And then you get idiots like this who will turn right in front of you, so you got to be careful. These snow tires, they're the Michelin X Ices, and there's better ones out there. So I would recommend everyone to get Blizzaks or pick up a set of Dunlop snow tires, because I've had both of those, and those did awesome. I had an RX-8 with the Dunlop snow tires on them, and that thing was like, it was like having all-wheel drive. I mean, that thing just ripped through the snow, plowed through the snow. Same thing with the Blizzaks. As long as you don't go too wide a tire, it's incredible the difference between regular all-season tires and those. It's totally night and day. So guys, I think that the key thing to winter driving with a sports car, for me at least, has always been it's always been not to drive in it if you don't have to, or just get a winter beater. Even if you have snow tires, you know, why do you want to take a chance on someone else running into you and, you know, destroying your car? You may as well have a winter beater. You know, I've got one. I've got a pickup truck that I can use if I wanted to, but I need new tires on that thing. So last winter, I slid through an intersection because the tires are all dry rotted on it. So, you know, it's all about the tires. So I'm taking my chances, you know, driving the Mustang. But yeah, I mean, you got to have snow tires on your Mustang. You can't make it through winter on the all seasons if you live anywhere that gets a decent amount of snow or has snowstorms come through. You know, if you get like a light dusting where you live or something like that, you can definitely make by. But if you're in an area that's prone to getting snowstorms and more than an inch or two of snow, you need some snow tires, and I would recommend getting some good ones. It's worth the money, and you can get them so cheap. You can get rims and tires on Craigslist or OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, any of those places. You just do a search for Mustang snow tires or Mustang, you know, usually Mustang snow tires, and people want to get rid of their snow tires, usually with the rims on it. So I picked these up for $500, rims and tires. The rims were in mint condition, not even a chip or a scratch on them. The tires, the two of them had pretty close to full tread, and two of them that were obviously on the rear had maybe about 90% tread left. They were only used for one season, so that's pretty good. Rims and tires, $500, and I've seen them, you know, as low as $300, or, you know, with rims. So it's worth it. You don't have to go to, you know, TireRack.com and or wherever you go to get your tires and your rims or whatever, and spend $1,000 or $1,200 or $1,500 on a set of snow tires. You know, they don't. Who cares if they don't look good? The wintertime, no car looks good. You got salt and freaking snow and ice all over them all winter long. So save your money for a nice set of summer rims and tires. But anyways, this is normal driving, I guess you could say, after a snowstorm, with it, you know, where the streets have been cleaned up. The streets will probably look like this for the next day or two, and this is no problem getting around with the snow tires. It's just after a snow, if you need to go to work and this is your daily driver, you got to have snow tires on, and you'll be just fine. Like I said, the tires that are on here now, not the best snow tires, and I'm still getting around just fine. I would compare it to having a front-wheel drive vehicle with, you know, a set of all-season tires on it. If I got better snow tires, I would probably compare it more to a, you know, sometimes maybe even like an all-wheel drive vehicle. You know, I've had vehicles in the past with snow tires on it that just would tear through the snow. So I'm gonna try and find a parking lot or a side street or something that's got some deeper snow still on it that hasn't been cleared, and I'll show you more like what it's like after a snowstorm driving in it. Not sure if you guys noticed, but there's a Dodge Charger driving next to me here, and so yeah, you know, living in the Midwest, there's tons of rear-wheel drive vehicles all over the road that get around just fine. So for those of you who are worried about driving a rear-wheel drive car in areas that snow, just start looking around. You'll notice there's plenty of vehicles that are rear-wheel drive that get around just fine. Most of them, you'll notice, have snow tires on it. The ones that don't, those are the ones that you see struggling. I see a lot of BMWs and Mercedes that are rear-wheel drive. The owners don't, you know, they buy them, they don't know that they're rear-wheel drive. They think they're front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and they're not. Those are the ones you see stuck. They get stuck on a hill. They got to be towed. They're in a bank, snowbank or something. But I mean, I see front-wheel drive cars in snowbanks. I saw a all-wheel drive Mitsubishi Evo or whatever, Lancer, whatever the hell you call those. I saw one of those in the snowbank this morning on the way to work. So, you know, it doesn't guarantee you that you're not going to end up in trouble just because you have an all-wheel drive vehicle either. So you got to be careful that you can get a little cocky. I've had all-wheel drive cars, and sometimes you do. You get a little cocky and you think that, you know, you can plow through anything, and then all of a sudden you hit a patch of ice, or you got to make a quick stop, and you end up, you know, getting into trouble. So one thing you guys got to watch out for when you're driving in this kind of weather is you got to watch out for other people, especially people in front of you that hit the brakes really fast. You know, stop really fast, because they hit their brakes. You feel like you need to slam on your brakes real fast, and then all of a sudden your car's going sideways, and your wheels lock up or whatnot, and that's where you really start getting into trouble. So you got to kind of pay attention. This guy in front of me here, he's going so slow, and the guy that was behind him before slammed on his brakes, and that made me slam on my brakes. You know, and that's where you could start getting into trouble. I don't understand why guys like this in truck with nice tires on it fucking go that slow. You know, sometimes people go too slow. There's ruts here, there's ruts in the snow, so it's not that bad out right now. So I don't know why he had to be doing 20 miles an hour, but anyways. The other thing when you're driving in snow like this is don't be next to somebody. If somebody's like, you look over and someone's pacing you, try and either slow down or speed up to get away from them, because at any moment, you know, their ass end could give out. They could catch a rut in the snow, and it could flip their car around. You know, you got to be careful about that, obviously, too, when you're driving in the snow. If I were to cross over to get into the other lane there, doing the speed I'm doing right now, there's a good chance I'm doing 40 miles an hour right now, just because I'm between the ruts here, and there's actually pavement that I can see. But if I were to try and cross through there to get in the other lane, there's a good chance that that rut would catch my right tire, and it wants to like suck it in, and there's a good chance you could spin out. That's how a lot of people spin out, because they're changing lanes. Their tire gets caught up in the snow, and it just yanks the car around. A lot of drag when you hit snow like that. But I mean, you can accelerate pretty good with snow tires, unless you're in some deep snow or some ice or something. You know, one thing that most people don't realize about driving in the snow is that, you know, with a rear-wheel drive car, once you get moving and going, it's just like any other car. It's getting out of the hole that is the hard part, you know, getting the vehicle moving. Once you have that inertia going, it's just like any other car. You know, you hit the brakes too hard, you're gonna slide. You yank the wheel to the left or the right too fast, you're gonna slide and spin out. You're gonna start to lose control. You hit the gas too hard, you're gonna start sliding. Even with a front-wheel drive car in the snow, if you mash on the pedal, the gas pedal, you know, your front wheels are going to start spinning, and the torque's there. You're going to start getting pulled to the left or the right. So you can get yourself into big trouble regardless of the drive of the car. All-wheel drive car, if you got enough power and you mash the pedal there as well, you got all 4 tires spinning. That can be catastrophic. You know, you have no control when your tires are spinning or slipping. So the nice thing about rear-wheel drive car is that while you're going, if you turn the wheel, there's no torque transfer to the front tires. It makes it a little bit easier, I think, to steer. You know, when you're sliding, it's like whatever tires are spinning, you have no control over those tires. So you know, when you're going to a spin or something, if you're lucky enough to have manual transmission car, you can easily just put your, you know, push the clutch in, and that kind of neutralizes everything. Push the clutch in and, you know, steer the car. When you have a automatic, it's a little bit obviously different because everything's still linked up and connected. The drive line is all connected still, regardless of if you took your foot off the gas pedal or not. So yeah, I used to drive a Jeep Wrangler, and I could put it in the 4x4 or take it out whenever I wanted to. And driving in the winter, I would say 95% of the time I drove in rear-wheel drive. I had it set in 2-wheel drive, which was the rear wheels, and that was just fine. The only time I would use it would be to go from a stoplight if it was icy out or there was snow on the ground. I would put it real quick in the 4x4, and once I got going to the speed that I need to go, you know, 20-30 miles an hour, whatever it might be, I would always shift it back into 2-wheel drive. You know, there is no reason to have it in 4x4 all the time. It's a waste of gas, and it's just not necessary if you have good tires. So that's the key, good tires. Yeah, this snow is, there's a thin layer of snow here. Let's see. Here's some thicker stuff right here. Let me see if I can get myself into some trouble. I'm gonna back in to this area here. It's got about, I don't know, maybe like 5 inches or so of snow, maybe 4. Backing in. Hopefully I don't get myself stuck. But this would be kind of a situation where I'd say, you know, you wake up early in the morning to go to work. There was a snowstorm overnight like what happened to me, and you got to drive to work. You got to get there. They're not letting you take off, whatever the reason may be. And yeah, so, or maybe you're at work already and the snowstorm hit while you're at work. So, you know, you went in at 7 o'clock and the snowstorm started around 8, and you get off at, you know, 4 or 5. Anyways, so here, let's see if I can get out of this. No problem. And this is with shitty snow tires. No problem at all. I'm gonna see if I can find a better area than this though. But first I'm gonna grab some steaks at the grocery store. Look at that. Got like a natural racing stripe there. Sweet. Alright, leaving the grocery store. Jewel Osco, which people from out of town inevitably call Jewel Costco. No, it's not a Costco. Alright, lady, go. Because you're worth 100 points and I'm tempted. I actually kind of feel bad because she was running. She's an old lady. Alright, so I'm gonna go across the street here to this parking lot because I think that it'll be pretty good, and there's a good amount of snow going up this little slope here. I want to put my snow mode on, and then I am going to turn traction control all the way off. I'm going to hold that up, and advanced track is going to turn off. There it is, advanced track off. And that's how I like to drive in the snow. I've tried all different settings and stuff, and I have the most control. It's not gonna cancel out my inputs to the throttle if I start spinning the tires. The snow mode does kind of dull the throttle input, but I can floor it if I really need to get going. So as you can see, going no problem. There's a guy coming. Wanted to make sure he wasn't gonna slide into me. No problem. Light throttle input. Didn't have an issue at all. Taking off. And let's see what we got here. See if there's any good snow piled up anywhere. You can definitely do donuts in this lot, I think. There's not a whole lot of room though. Yee-hoo! One thing that I did notice about this vehicle is that it is tail happy, that's for sure. Once you get past a certain degree of angle on your when you're spinning out, it just wants to continue going. It's like a pendulum. So you got to be careful if you're just playing around and you mean to do like a 90-degree turn. That could turn into a 180 real quick. Here's a good amount of snow right there. Right there. I don't know if you could tell how deep that is, but the little peak, right there. It's not that little though. That's like shit, probably almost a foot and a half of snow. It's definitely, and right there too. And then right in the middle, right there. It's hard to tell on camera. That's probably a good foot of snow. I kind of want to go through it for you guys, but I'm scared. Let's see. Get a kind of a running start at least. Let's see if we can make it through. Oh, fuck. Oh, fucking no problem. They just freaking plowed right through. Snow tires, dude. Love them. Gotta have them. Even if they're shitty ones like this, you can still get through stuff. No probs. No probs. I would have definitely gotten stuck with the stock tires. Stock all seasons, I'd have been screwed, dude. So I think the scariest part about winter for me is where I live in Illinois. There's actually some pretty decent sized hills. I live in a down near a river, so you know, the river carved some nice hills into the area, and it can get a little bit scary in certain areas. So what I'm going to try and do is find a really steep hill. There are some around in my neighborhood, to kind of see if I'll be able to make it up that hill. Alright, here's a little hill. See if we can catch it on camera. I go up this hill right here. Oh shit. Yep, see? Just slid right there. Not the best snow tires. Well, this hill sucks. Look at that. It's all cleared. It's like perfectly cleared. Alright, I'm gonna pull. I'm pulling in. I'm gonna do this. Pulling in. Pulling in. Okay. It's a pretty good size hill here. Oh, shit balls. I'm a little scared. Yeah, and it's not perfectly plowed. I just hope no one comes down while I'm trying to go up. Oh, shit. What am I doing? What the frick am I doing? Why would I do this? What an idiot I am. Holy fuck. That was, stupid of me. And now I gotta get down somehow? Oh, Lord. I'm not familiar with this area. Okay. So, I've never been up that hill. I just always see it, and I just always see that it's pretty freaking steep. But, even though there wasn't a ton of snow on it, there was still snow on it, and we made it up the hill. And now we're going down. We're going down. And hopefully I don't slide off the side of the, or, oh shit, I hope that I don't slide into that house. I'm gonna brake check, hard. Oh, fuck. Well, the eggs I just bought are landed on the floor. So, brakes work fine. I think it's time to go home and cook one of these steaks. I've had enough death-defying dares that I've done for you all on YouTube, and I'm a little bit lost at the same time. Let's take it home, people. Wrap it up. Yeah, you can't see that hill, but fuck that hill. That hill. Snow bueno. Snow bueno. That was a big hill. One last short clip for you guys. I'm gonna go through the snow. It's about 6 to 8 inches, maybe at the peaks of those are about 12 inches. Let's see if I can get through it. The only reason I'm doing this is because I live right here. I am gonna totally stop. My rear wheels are now sunk into that. Let's see if we can get out of it. Yeah, that wasn't much of a challenge. Anyways, well, hope you guys enjoyed that, and that's all I got.